What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. Today we're going to talk about the Jaw Sword. Yes, I'm going to throw you guys for a loop. You hadn't even really seen much about it, but we're going to throw you right into the Jaw Sword. So, I pulled this out. You can run it, obviously. There is a Syndicate mod for it, the Blade of Truth mod, the Arbiter's Syndicate mod. And we'll talk about that as well. I am running that on here. I played with it before I put the mod on, so I had a feeling for it again. It's basically similar to the Skana. Maybe it's a little bit of an upgrade of the Skana originally, but you can actually, the way this whole thing works now, you can actually get to almost the same, or if you want to say competitively, it can be on the terms of the Dacra Prime, on the terms of the Dragon Nakana, even the Skana and the Skana Prime now, based off of how the damage works and how high of a damage you can get based off of having the proper cards, mods, if you will. You can run Crimson Dervish, which is the same as the Dacra Prime, the Skana, as well, and if you do, you're going to get that bonus 200% damage on the initial attacks, giving you that 300% total damage increase if you run it that way. But we're not going to really talk about the Crimson Dervish one too much because we're running the Iron Phoenix, which is the stance that actually fits on this. And this one is pretty nice as well because you're going to actually deal some impact procs on the final stab with the stance. As well as, of course, you're going to do up to 100% bonus damage on the third and fourth attacks of taking flight as well. So if you're running the taking, if you can get to the taking flight combination, then you're going to go ahead and get that extra bonus damage on here. And it also does an AoE attack damage as well, so it'll do some knockback in the process, which is pretty nice in case you didn't know about it. So that's what we're going to talk about a bit more now. In terms of this weapon, it does have nice slash damage. It also has some puncture damage on it, and of course with the Iron Phoenix you're going to do some impact proccing damage on your final stab to the enemy. So you kind of get a little bit of everything in here. Lots of ways you can put it together. In a minute we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the build that I have set up and how I'm running it. So if you do have any comments or questions, of course, you know, feel free, let me know. In terms of Blade of Truth, in case you're not aware of what this is the Syndicate mod for the Arbiters. And basically what this does is this is going to give you 100% additional melee damage and the +1 Truth. The +1 Truth is going to deal 1000 gas damage to any enemies around the player. It's going to also restore 25% of maximum health, and it will temporarily increase your maximum stamina by 100% to the Warframe's base stamina, which is a pretty nice thing to have. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get right into the build so you can see how I've got this thing set up. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the Jaw Sword. Now, of course, we talk basic numbers. Really bad attack speed is from what it's looking. The numbers are not really that great in terms of what you're looking at here. It's only a 33 slash, but it does have some puncture. It does have a little impact. How we're going to go ahead and do this, how I'm really doing it. Configuration A, I got one build, that's it. We go heavy damage, and then we add in a couple extra features to this. As you can see, the numbers turn out pretty well. We only go up to a 1 attack speed, but don't be fooled by that. This Iron Phoenix does help us out with the fast attacks, so it's nice to have. So Iron Phoenix, of course, we've got two moves that are really important here. The Winds and Beak is your standard. The Taking Flight is your extra, that gives you that extra bonus damage as well when you hit that in there. And then we got your sliding, your air, your wall running, and your aiming down at the enemy deaths marked, which I like to hit a lot on. So these are pretty easy to do, great with this stance, and it works perfectly with the Jaw Sword. But if you don't like that, you can always put Crimson Dervish on. This build will allow you to do Crimson Dervish without changing any forma or adding any forma. Just a simple catalyst in this one. So, straight damage, as you can see, the numbers are pretty nice. Pressure point to Buzzkill, to Jagged Edge, to Spoiled Strike. All of this is giving us our damage. So we got melee damage here, pressure point, extra melee damage itself for extra straight damage, Spoiled Strike. Then we got slash damage for Jagged Edge and Buzzkill because this is a slash heavier weapon. You are getting some puncture out of this based off of the way the weapon is. And of course, Iron Phoenix does give us extra impact on the final hit with the stance. Blade of Truth is going to add another 100% melee on top of that. So as you can see, this is where it suddenly becomes a really, really good weapon, plus the 1 Truth, which we talked about, that gas proc. And then so what I'm doing is I'm adding Molten Impact. I really like heat, so I just kept it one straight element. You could put any element in here. I'm going to suggest something like Molten Impact or even Fever Strike, because those are going to give you your 90% damage. The electricity is only going to give you 60%. And I'm pretty sure if I could find it in here, Northwind is going to give you only 60 as well. Yeah. So you want to go your choice of Molten Impact or Fever Strike if you want to swap that in there. But I like the heat, and because we're getting a gas proc, I'm doing just fine with it there. Life Strike is my utility. I prefer the full max Life Strike, but that's just me. Not everybody likes it that way. You could go lower, of course. It's not going to matter. And Fury is going to bring up our attack speed just ever so much for this. We would go higher if we didn't have this Bulge Strike, but because I wanted to go major damage, as you can see here, I'm considering this pretty damn good damage for this weapon. It makes it perfect for me with Fury and the way it's set up. So if you have any comments or questions, please do feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, please, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. I screwed that part up there at the end, but hey, it is what it is. All right, we'll see you later.